my powerful live stream lecture. This is my second month doing this power lecture. I'm going to be presenting. I'm going to go over an outline of the topics that I'm going to present, and I really do want to appreciate everyone who's chiming in and joining in at this time to support my channel. But before I get into actual what I'm going to do, I want to take a moment, first of all, to acknowledge. I want to personally acknowledge and thank the individuals who have contributed to my super chats and my sticker contributors on an ongoing basis. And and what I do with that revenue, I just reinvest it back into my business. I want to acknowledge and I want to praise a resilient dad. He has on an ongoing basis contribute to super chats or stickers. I want to acknowledge Pieces of April. I want to give acknowledgement and praise to Big Rooster, is another one who has contributed to super chats and stickers to support my channel and my brand ongoing. Unbiased LLC. I want to acknowledge Unbiased LLC, Chocolate Drop, and Georgia Girl. These are individuals on an ongoing basis who have contributed for super chats and super stickers on an ongoing basis to support my channel. I'm gonna tell anybody, it is Marie Holiday does a lot of behind the scene work behind the scene, or any content creator, before I get in front of this camera, because I take value in what I do. So I really do want to acknowledge those individuals who have supported this channel financially. I also want to thank all of my members. Georgia Girl is also a member to my channel. Pandy, Hair Candy, Emore, and Sutard, they're my 3 power members. I want to acknowledge them for also joining my membership. And I'm gonna just say this: if a person want to join my membership, that's fine. But really, my cutoff is at 3, because Marie Holiday agenda is not to attain a whole lot of members. That'll kind of stray me away from the true mission, goals, and objective, number 1, of my company, and then number 2 as a content creator and maintaining the balance. I also want to thank all of my supporters, my subscribers, my viewers, my members, for supporting my channel for over 3 years. I really do want to thank you for that. This channel would not be where it is today without all of my supporters, my subscribers, and my viewers. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge my business affiliates, because it ain't just Marie Holiday. I've been in business for over 21 years, but I really do want to take a moment to acknowledge Page Publishing Company. They are a world-renowned publishing company who I selected to transform my manuscript into a published book. They published my soft copy in my ebook version. I want to also acknowledge Lena Beers. She is a staff member with Page Publishing. She was my publishing coordinator who guided my manuscript from all the way to the finished book. I also want to acknowledge Diana Botti, who is also another staff member with Page Publishing Company. Without these powerful affiliates, there is no way Marie Holiday could have published a book the correct way. I also want to acknowledge another one of my powerful affiliates is Audiobook Network. That's the publishing company that transformed my published book into an audiobook. Go to my business website. You will see all of the information on my audiobook. I also want to thank and acknowledge Scott Townley with Audiobook Network. He was my marketing he was my marketing coordinator. He completed the video trailer for my audiobook. He also completed all of the various social media pages for my book. There's a Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, exclusively to promote my audiobook, and I want to thank him for doing that. There's no way I could have done all of that. I tell people, hire the experts to showcase your craft in your brand, in your business, versus trying to do everything yourself. I also want to acknowledge Tara McWilliams with Audiobook Network. She was my audio production coordinator. You know, Tara did a phenomenal job in keeping me in on the loop behind the scene as they was transforming my book into a audio book, which that was over a 6-7 month behind the scene process done by the experts. I also want to acknowledge, most importantly, is Patricia Burgos. She was my narrator, the performer who transformed. She was the voice for my book to transform my published book into an audio book. You know, she spent a tremendous time in the studio behind the scene, making that manuscript into an audio book. So I definitely want to recognize her. She did a phenomenal job. You know, when the publishing company got to that part, they actually sent me three different narrator voices, and they all had to read so many pages of my manuscript. And Patricia was the third voice. It was something about her voice, her pitch, her tone that was in line with the concept of my book. And she did a phenomenal job in that studio, and I really do want to thank her and praise her for doing that phenomenal job. Also, most importantly, all of these are my affiliates who make it possible for Paris and Associates, who make it possible for Marie Holiday to do what I do as a businesswoman and not have to be worried about all this stuff that I hire the experts to do. That free me up so I can focus on content in my business, in my primary service, professional coaching. Jason Shelton, I have got to acknowledge Jason. I was introduced to Jason probably close to well over a year and a half ago by a very dear friend of mine, Ashley. Ashley, I've been knowing Ashley for over 15 years, and when it got to the point where I did all of the nuts and bolts and got all my documents ready for my business website, I needed a website developer. So Ashley, my best friend, referred me to Jason. And I'm gonna tell you something about Jason. Jason is on top of his game. He has done a phenomenal job in showcasing all of my years of work, my company on my business website. I did an appreciation letter for many of these affiliates. I acknowledged and did an appreciation letter for Jason. You can see that on my business website. You have got to go to my business website and check out Jason's work. I mean, and what the beauty about the contract that I have with Jason, I was just talking to him before I came live this morning, is additional stuff that I need added on my business website. For example, like my video trailer for my audio book, and some other new things that I put on my business website. You know, I go into, I pay for those services, and Jason will go in and add those additional links throughout the professional relationship that I'm going to have with him as long as I'm in business, because he does a great job. So that's where the associate come from. It's just not about Marie Holiday. I got enough business savvy to know hire the experts to do what they do so they can free me up to go ahead and continue to cultivate and to develop and to nurture my brand, my company, my book, and my YouTube channel. And now that's going to lead us into I'm gonna just quickly go over, and I am gonna take breaks throughout. And I see folks are chiming in. I appreciate that. I really do. Share this information. I'm gonna talk about how paying your income tax. That's the concept I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna talk about the business expense. I've been using a CPA for over 20-something years, so I'm going to present some business expenses that I've done throughout the years, and I turn everything over to my CPA. I'm going to talk about how I wrote my winning manuscript for publication acceptance. I'm going to do a lecture on the marshmallow experience delayed gratification. I'm going to do a lecture on if it comes too quick, you better run from it. What is emotional intelligence? The mindset of internally driven people. What is a fixed mindset? All people use tactics. And I'm going to do a lecture on understanding psychological defenses, drama, addiction, power of silence, the value of silence, 5 ways to self-fund and save for your dreams. I'm going to do a lecture, which is, I think, is needed awareness information, is how sugar has a negative impact on your overall health. and I'm gonna bring it to closure. I always bring it to closure. My company, Parents and Associates Resource Center, promote my book. Towards the end, I do want to showcase the updates that Jason did on my business website. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the growth of my channel, and the next power lecture will be December the 2nd, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I see I got some more supporters chiming in. I really do appreciate that. So going into paying your income tax, it's again time for tax season. You gotta pay your income tax because the IRS knows how much you earn in a given year, even if you haven't reported your income. That's because the IRS uses a sophisticated referencing software that looks at the amounts other people and businesses report to you. So it's also what other people report on your income and what you report. So if you don't file, the IRS will begin taking on penalties, fees, and interest to what you owe. So what happens if you don't file your income tax? And you'll be surprised how the amount of people are in a whole lot of tax trouble. If you fail to file your taxes or you fail to contact IRS, you are subject to the following. You will have to pay the IRS interest up to 5% of the tax owed for each month or part of the month that the tax remains unpaid from the due date. Also, until the tax is paid in full, up to 25% maximum penalty could also have to be paid when you ignore that tax bill. So in short, pay your income tax. Go through the steps every year to file. If you know you have not, contact the Internal Revenue Service. They will assist you. I had a conversation with a person I met probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and just in casual conversation, this individual told me somebody working full-time, part-time job, he hadn't filed taxes in 10 years. That's scary. And I just couldn't even respond, because one thing about Internal Revenue Service, you either pay now or you either pay later. Not filing, ignoring the problem is only going to dig the hole of financial destruction deeper and deeper. What happens if you don't pay these taxes? The Internal Revenue Service, they can attain a legal claim to your property and assets. They can put a lien on your bank account. They can garnish your paycheck. They can do all of that. They can freeze your bank account and repossess your assets to get their money. And I have seen that happen to multiple people, and I'm here to tell you. It's a friend of mine a few years ago. She went on a vacation, and when she returned from her vacation and she checked her bank account, $25,000 was drained out of her bank account. And she did a little bit of research. The Internal Revenue Service went into her account and got their money. So bottom line, pay your income taxes. By me being a business owner, I have a CPA to do my personal taxes, my business taxes. I keep excellent records, year after year after year after year, because you never know when you might be audited. So go ahead. This is another example of hiring the experts to do your taxes, because tax laws change year after year after year, especially if you have a business, and on top of it, if you got a day job or if you got your own business. If you in business, you really do need to align yourself with a certified public accountant, because they are going to keep up with all of those tax laws, and they have the software, they have the updated software to stay abreast of all of this. And whatever money you pay them to file your taxes, that would be a business write-off. So that is now going to lead us into the next topic, which is, and I'm going to just kind of briefly go over this, business expenses, aka the benefits of owning your own business. Under my company, Parents and Associates, even though my primary service is coaching, but under my company, I wrote my book under my company. I'm a content creator, so everything I do in relation to as a content creator and the money I spend on equipment, time, just like I'm doing this live stream or utilizing a space in my home to do this live stream, so that's considered a office space. So I'm literally, to keep it simple, I'm just gonna literally, this is my information from when I filed last year, 2022, my CPA. I always keep the finished product, the electronic version, this the hard copy version. So, and these are the type of expenses I've done over the years as a business owner. Everything I do in the professional development, because even though I'm retired, but all of the money I spent in 2022, professional development, the re-credential, all of my training was a business write-off. In 2022, I spent $648 on professional development. And that can also include ordering books from Amazon to learn more about my craft, even as a content creator. So professional development. The money I spent to pay for my taxes to be done with my CPA is a business write-off. What was that bill? Is in there. My home warranty, the money I spent on my home warranty, because I utilize a space in my house. So any bill in relation to my house, because I'm a business owner, a percentage of that is a business write-off. So my home warranty. You always want to have copies of all of your W-2s, your 1098s, your 1099s for your accountant. You want to give that to them. In addition, anything I spend at Staples, UPS store, any kind of supplies, paper, ink, or whatever, all is a business write-off. My bill I pay the Google domain every month is a business write-off, because I gotta be able to have my website, so that's an ongoing bill. All of the money I spent 2022 on Google domain is a business write-off. This year ties into what I spent on my website is a business write-off. All of the money I spent on paying Jason as my webpage developer is a business write-off. So all of that money I got a folder I paid my publishing company is a business write-off. Both publishing companies is a business write-off. All of the money I pay on my cell phone bill as a business owner is a business write-off. Always give my accountant, because I can't remember everything, and it helps me making sure I ain't missing anything, all of my banking statements, so I don't miss anything. Because a lot of times when I'm out there spending in relation to my business, if I lose a receipt, it don't matter, because then I got printouts for the whole year of my bank statement. So it's always good to have this as a powerful resource. You don't have to give it to your accountant, but I do. So I give her all of my banking information. As a business owner, whatever additional money you spend on medical and insurance or anything is a business write-off. The money I spend on my life insurance to cover me is a business write-off as a business owner. I gave her more information on my credit union just in case if she needed. So all of this powerful information, my Duke energy bill, since I have an office in my home, a percentage of my Duke energy bill for the entire year of 2022 is a business write-off. My Spectrum internet, gotta have that. That's a 100% business write-off as a business owner. My water bill, because I'm using office space in my home, a percentage of my water bill for the whole year is a business write-off. Anything I spent to maintain the maintenance of my home, to keep it like plumbing repairs or to keep it termite free, all of that is a business write-off. Money I spend on my home warranty, because I have an office in my home, is a business write-off. When I own my home, because I went in Raleigh, even though I don't pay HOA anymore, but this is part of me selling my home. All that money I spent on HOA because I'm a business owner, a percentage of that is a business write-off. All that money I spent on home renovation before I sold my home, because I had an office space in my home, a percentage of that was a business write-off. So this power in being a business owner is power in turning all this information in order, organized, labeled for the CPA so they can do their magic. The money I spent on vehicle property types, emission sticker, all of that, because you got to have a car if you're in business when you go meet stakeholders, was a 100% business write-off. When my car died on me and I had to buy another car, it was a really good used car, and I went ahead and paid cash for the car. So all of the money I spent on that car, over $10,000, was a 100% business write-off as a business owner. Car maintenance, when I get my oil change, anything happen to that car, because I'm a business owner, is a 100% business write-off as an expense. Car insurance, that's a 100% business write-off, because as a business owner, you gotta have car insurance on the car, so that's a 100% business write-off. And oh, this is really important, and I'm gonna have to show this to my accountant for 2023. If the audience is aware, this is and most people ain't thinking about this. When I had a school loan, the money I spent on my school loan was a business write-off. However, my student loan got forgiven. My student loan got forgiven August of 2023. I went under the public student loan forgiveness program, so the remaining balance of my student loan in the amount of $72,000+ was wiped out August of 2023 after I met those qualifying criterias of 120 payment, 10 years. But the beauty of that, the last 3 years, because of COVID, my bill was zero, and they still count that zero bill for 3 years as part of my requirement. And the federal government sent me a letter saying that we have forgiven the remaining balance of your student loan. I checked my credit report, and now when I would have seen $72,000+ owed on my credit report on TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, now I see zero in all of those areas where I have seen all that money that was power. In the federal government, for whatever reason, they sent me a refund check. This is a copy of the refund check of my federal student loan refund check in the amount of $7,500. And they say they owed me this because they told me in 2012 I overpaid by $7,000. I don't remember that, but anyway. So my point is, they also sent me a letter, the federal government, and I got to give this letter to my accountant. They're telling me that due to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the balance of your loans that was forgiven is not considered taxable income for federal income type purposes. So I got to make sure I give my accountant this letter from the federal government, so my accountant won't inadvertently tax me on $72,000. The federal government forgave me for that loan and sent me a powerful letter. In this letter, it's saying, and you are not to be taxed on this money because of the American Rescue Plan Act. That bill was passed by the government in 2021 to protect Marie Holiday or anybody else who meet criteria of being taxed on the school loan that was forgiven. So this here, this why you got to handle your business. So when I get ready to turn all my stuff into my certified public accountant, I'm going to make sure they get a copy of this letter saying, don't you tax me on this $72,000+ for the year of 2023. And I'm here to tell you. So this is all some good examples of business expenses that has been written off in the 20-something years that I've been in business, and having a certified public accountant to do the magic. Bottom line, go ahead and pay. I can't keep up with all this, but I know enough to know to keep excellent records and to have working knowledge of income taxes, and have working knowledge what's a tax write-off, so that can free me up on my company. And you know, I'm so thorough that all my accounting got to do is just plug in the data, because I got everything organized in sequence, in individual folders, labeled, and it's all set, ready to go. Versus giving my accountant a box with a whole bunch of paperwork in it, and they got to figure this mess out. That's how they charge people thousands of dollars, because they got to figure out the junk. And I'm here to tell you. So handle your business. Now, as we move on and we're looking good on time, this is my pet peeve. You know, we got tight seasons coming up, and I'm telling you, you got folks out there doing these side businesses, working a full-time job, and they're not telling the business of their business and keeping up with their personal and their business taxes. Then they get mad when they get paid one day and the whole check is garnished. And I'm here to tell you, this is real stuff. This is real talk. This is real talk right here. And I've always done this. I might not know anything about those tax laws, but I know enough to know to stay abreast of it, and I know enough to know to get my taxes, my personal taxes, and my business taxes done like clockwise every single year. So and I've been audited plenty times, and it's a beautiful thing when the Internal Revenue Service want to audit me. My stuff so well organized, the electronic version, the hard copy version, as far back as you want to go. And you really only have to keep your taxes. I would say, me personally, I keep 5 years. They ain't no requests going back so many years, because those people ain't keeping those records. But if you use a certified CPA and they using that software, so I'm sure somewhere in that software they can retrieve your data. And I'm here to tell you. Now that's going to take us to the next topic. And my next topic is, which is one of my favorite topics, is how I wrote my winning manuscript. And this is actually a copy of my edited manuscript, not the original. My original is locked up somewhere in my office. I don't just show that to anybody. But this is the edited version. This is the edited version of my manuscript. And how I can remember when I started writing my manuscript, and I did it the old-fashioned way, paper and pencil, over 2-something years ago. So how I wrote my winning manuscript for publication is substance. First of all, in writing a book, it does not matter if you are a first-time author or have already written several books that have sold in bookstores. You got to be prepared, number one, to set aside time, to sit your behind down, to brainstorm, to write, edit, rewrite, edit, cut, and rewrite again. So if you choose to go to a book writing workshop, that's fine. I didn't do the workshop. I just had during the time that I wrote my book, I was in the workforce, and I had a weekend job on the weekend, and I was able really to write my book on that weekend job. I rewrote, and I rewrote again until the completed final manuscript to my book was done, prior to submitting to the selected publishing company, Page Publishing Company, based out of New York. It's better to write, and this is me talking, it's better to write that initial first draft manuscript handwritten in pencil versus pen. I just use a pencil. I use the paper without the lines on it. It's something about this unlined paper I can write better on. The final edit manuscript is better. Now when I got to the final manuscript, not that rough draft, the final edited manuscript is better to type into one word document that final completed manuscript is what goes to the publishing company for review and or acceptance. You may already know what you want to write about, or you may not know what you write about. I already knew what I wanted to write about. I wanted to tell my testimony, write about my testimony on how I rose from financial destruction to complete financial freedom. So you may already know what you want to write about, or you may be at a total loss. Either way, you can settle on a book idea by asking yourself a few simple questions. What do I want to write about? What do I feel is important? What is the concept of the book I'm going to write? How do I feel? What do I feel is important to write about? And who will want to read about this story or subject? Will I be able to carry out this idea effectively throughout writing that manuscript? So those are some basic questions you gotta be able to answer when you're at that beginning stage of writing your manuscript. And I'm here to tell you, so because, it takes a lot of work behind the scene. It takes a lot of dedication behind the scene in writing a manuscript. I start by setting up my writing environment. Example, I set up a certain area in my home where I did a lot of it on my weekend job on when I would be writing. I developed a writing habit to start, such as during the time when I wrote my manuscript, I did a lot of my writing every Saturday or whatever day you want to choose, but I did a lot of my writing on Saturday on that weekend job. You got to create a book outline to start writing, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and you got to give each chapter a title. Focus on writing your book only. Don't try to write like someone else who has already published a book. Each person in this world have their own writing style unique to that person. Maintain your focus at the start. Don't get sidetracked or become lazy. Schedule book writing time, such as every Saturday from noon to 2. From noon to 2, I was writing my manuscript. I mean, like clockwise. 2 hours every Saturday. You got to be real specific when you're setting up that time. Be prepared to deal with writing distractions, meaning address areas of concern as they come up so you can return back to your writing. These are some tips that I use throughout writing my manuscript. And then you just start writing your book. It is recommended to write the first rough draft old-fashioned, handwritten with paper and pencil. And then I always tell people, when you get towards the end of completing that manuscript, begin to start researching different publishing companies. I researched various publishing companies before I selected Page Publishing. It was just something about the professionalism. I did my due diligence. I did my research. They're on top of the game. The professionalism was all the way throughout before I selected to go with Page Publishing Company. So you always got to do your research, your due diligence. Basically, I spent over a year writing my manuscript, my winning manuscript, by following all of those tips. And then once I submitted my manuscript to Page Publishing Company, they kept my manuscript probably for about well over 2 weeks before I got the verdict on whether or not they were going to accept or decline the manuscript. But just because you submit it, that don't mean the publishing company is going to accept your manuscript. Because if it's something that's way out there, you got to understand that publishing company, they also have a brand to protect. So I submitted my manuscript. I didn't hear anything, and then after 2 weeks, I got a phone call from a staff member from the publishing company with the verdict on whether or not they were going to accept my manuscript. I had to go in and make one adjustment, because by that time I had transformed the handwritten manuscript into a Word document. So I had to go in and make one adjustment before that world-renowned publishing company would accept my manuscript. And when I went in and made that adjustment, then they accepted my manuscript. And then the experts spent over 6 months transforming my manuscript into a finished book. So you're talking about over a year or almost a year and a half of me writing the manuscript, another 6+ months with the experts doing their magic to transform that manuscript into a finished book before it hit all major bookstores worldwide, and that book can be purchased anywhere. So you're talking about almost 2 years behind the scene before anybody laid eyes on that book. And that's a good example of commitment, dedication, and effort, and validation that nothing in this world of true value comes quick. And now my book now is all actually available in the audiobook. Audiobook Network was the publishing company that transformed my published book into an audiobook, and that was another 6 months behind the scene before my published book became available in audiobook. So now that's going to lead us into our next topic after I take a sip of my water, which is a very interesting topic. Which is going to tie into delayed gratification. And again, I see I got folks chiming in. I really appreciate that. I got my water and I got my coffee. And we're going to go into this next topic, which is one of my favorite topics. I learned about this topic in graduate school, the marshmallow experience, aka delayed gratification. You know, delayed gratification in today's day, the age of one-click purchases in immediate accessible information, instant gratification is seen as the norm. The always own world with smartphones, Wi-Fi reinforces that you have to get what you want and get it right away in an instant. And I'm here to tell you. However, instant gratification isn't always the best. In fact, impulse control is an essential life skill. When it comes to achieving your goals, delayed gratification is the skill that will get you there faster. The truth is, it's not realistic to get everything you want, much less get it immediately. Instant gratification is actually a source of frustration. It creates false expectations. By learning to employ delayed gratification, you buy time to strategize thoughtfully and learn from your failures. And you know, people of all ages have a problem with instant gratification, not just children. You got children, adolescents, people in their 20s to 30s to 40s to 50s to 60s, and even older do not have the emotional maturity to delay gratification. They want everything quick and fast. So what is delayed gratification? How can you build this essential skill? Delayed gratification means resisting the temptation of an immediate reward in anticipation that there will be a greater reward later. It is a powerful tool for learning to live your life with purpose. It's linked to impulse control. So those with a high impulse control typically excel at delayed gratification. However, delayed gratification is also a skill that you can develop if you do not have it. Why is delayed gratification important? The ability to hold out for now for a better reward later is an essential life skill. Delayed gratification allows you to do things that forego large purchases to save for a vacation or to build your emergency savings account or to take that trip out of the country. For example, to skip that dessert to lose weight, or to take a job that you may not like, but that will help your career later on. So I'm going to introduce an experiment that I learned about in graduate school called the marshmallow experiment. That was actually done in the 1960s by Stanford professor Walter Miskill. He created one of the best delayed gratification examples. He tested, and this is a longitudinal research study he did. He tested hundreds of young children by placing each child in a room by themselves, accompanied only by a single marshmallow. He literally put the child in the room and he left on the table a single marshmallow. And I can literally smell the sugar from this marshmallow. So what he did, he tested hundreds of the young children by placing each child in the room by themselves, accompanied only with a single marshmallow placed on the table. Researchers then offered each child a deal. If the child refrained from eating the marshmallow while the researchers briefly left the room, the child would be rewarded with a second marshmallow. But if the child ate the first marshmallow, there would be no second one. There would be no reward. The results of the so-called marshmallow experiment underscored the difficulty humans of any age have with delayed gratification. Some of the children, when they were left with the marshmallow in the room on the table, they immediately ate the marshmallow. They gobble it up immediately. And that's what the researchers saw. Some of the children ate the first marshmallow immediately. Others tried to restrain themselves, but eventually gave in and ate that marshmallow. Only a few of the children managed to hold out for the second marshmallow reward. Researchers followed the marshmallow experiment participants into adulthood over a span of 40 years. So understand, only just a few of the kids held out. They did not eat the first marshmallow. They held out, and they were able to, at the end of the research experience at that time, to get the second marshmallow, which was a reward. And again, I could smell the sugar on these marshmallows. The researchers followed the marshmallow experiment participants into adulthood over a span of 40 years. That's considered a longitudinal study. Unlike the children who caved to temptation, the children who delayed their reward the children who were able to delay their reward were far more successful in almost all areas of their life. At a young age, those children the few that held out for the second marshmallow already demonstrated delayed gratification. Unlike the children who caved to temptation, the children who delayed their reward were far more successful in almost all areas of their life. And I'm here to tell you, they scored higher on standardized tests, were healthier, they responded better to stress, had fewer substance abuse issues, demonstrated better social skills, and were more goal-oriented based off the results of the 40-year longitudinal study. This delayed gratification example proved that it is pivotal to success in almost all areas of all facets of your life in terms of having the ability to have delayed gratification. You know, this study started, this was a longitudinal study. This research started in the 1960s, and this research ended in the year of 2000. In the year 2000 is when that research study ended. So that was a 40-year longitudinal study. That's a long time to follow participants, because understand, those children were young children when the study began. You know, and I can remember years ago, I will never forget this, about years ago, I was at the airport, and I always have a way of talking to people, and I literally, not knowing at the time, but in me talking to a man that I met at the airport, and I was some kind of way we got on the topic about the marshmallow experience. And when I mentioned that, he literally looked at me. He said he was one of the young children who was in that research study and was a part of the 40-year longitudinal study. He said he remembered that research because he was one of the children that had the ability to delay gratification, and he did not eat that first marshmallow. He was able to hold out. And to get the second marshmallow. He did not gobble up the first one. He sat there. He remembered this. He sat there and he held out. Because he said he wanted that second marshmallow. It was only a few of them made it to the finish line and got the second marshmallow reward. And I literally could not believe I met someone who was actually in that study. And I'm going to tell you what this man also told me. Because remember, this man was a young child at the time demonstrating delayed gratification. And he literally said that, which tied into what the findings of the researchers. He literally said that he was able to retire early. He made very wise financial decisions. He increased his portfolio. He had married for over 20-something years. So he talked about his life and the things that he said in terms of being married for all those years, able to retire early and make wise financial decisions, also tied into having the ability to delay gratification as a young child, which carry over into his adulthood, which set the stage for him to retire early. And I'm here to tell you. So pointers on how to develop delayed gratification. Number one, start small. To orient your brain towards delayed gratification. Start small. Create a goal so easy that you cannot refuse. Like waiting 3 minutes before eating that dessert. Next time, maybe wait 4 minutes. Incremental progress lets you build confidence with each small goal you achieve. I don't care what that incremental progress is. It can be weight loss, saving money, or cultivating your YouTube channel, writing a book, etc. Make rules. You can use delayed gratification as a rule for certain parts of your life where you may lack self-control. So that delayed gratification is very important in certain areas of your life. And these are just some pointers on how to develop delayed gratification. Because you got people, like I said, in their 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and even older who do not have the ability to delay gratification. I encourage anyone to check out that marshmallow experience. I learned about that experience that I did research on that in graduate school, but I'm telling you again, you have people in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s and even older who do not have the ability to delay gratification. So again, I see folks are chiming in. I really do appreciate that. Let me take a little water break before that we move into our next topic, and we are doing really good on time. So now, let's see. All right, we're going to continue with this. So now that's going to lead us into our next topic, which is sort of a caveat to the topic that I just talked about, and is actually one of my favorite topics, which is, if it comes too quick, you better run from it. Better yet, you better run like lightning speed. I've been told all my life, nothing in this world of true value is going to come quick or easy. In today's world, and particularly in America, kids are growing up with a sense of entitlement. In all fairness, it's not the kids' fault entirely. It's a symptom of society in our culture. America was founded on immigration of people arriving in the new world searching for a better life. These people are our parents, grandparents, who have worked all their lives to give their children the freedom and opportunities to which they were not privy. Some parents can't seem to say no. No one wants their child miserable or depraved. But simply yielding to the demands of your children isn't any sort of solution. It is unrealistic. It's unrealistic to say yes to your child, yes, 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 and give them everything that they ask for. It's unrealistic. It closes the disparity of desire and reception. As the child grows up and attempts to become more independent, having never worked for anything in their lives, the adult child is unprepared for the real world. I'm a parent, and my adult child, is 31 years old, but I did my job and I raised my child. I gave her all of the nuts and bolts that I knew she was going to need in this world. But at a certain point, people make their own decisions. And, I'm going to tell you something. As a parent, I believe any parent, the main thing you should want for your child, I don't care if your child is 30 or 40 or 20 or whatever age your child is, as a parent, the number one priority or primary thing you should want for your child is for your adult child to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and navigate through life and be able to be independent and take care of themselves. As a parent, if they can do that, I'm good. And my daughter's been self-sufficient really since age 21. She can stand on her own 2 feet. So God forbid if God was to call me home right now, I would be at peace because I will be leaving this earth knowing my adored daughter can stand and navigate through life and take care of herself and not be dependent on anybody. Every parent should want that for their adult child. That's it. That, to me, I think that's more important than accolades. That's more important than your resume. That's more important than how much money you got. That's more important than all of that. If you are able to stand on your own 2 feet and navigate through life and be able to resolve whatever issue come at you and navigate life, that's power right there. So, because things that come easy don't count as success. I'm going to say that again. Things that come easy don't count as success because you haven't pushed to make them possible. How can you know your limits if you haven't tested them? If you want it to come easy, you shouldn't have it at all. If it seems like something comes easy to other people, it's because they put themselves in the position. They have worked for it hard behind the scene. When you just looking at the finished product, but you might not know everything that person did, years of blood, sweat, and tears to get to the finish line or achieving that goal or being successful in that business or successful as a businessman or businesswoman or successful on the job, is successful in school, all this, but you don't know the years of blood, sweat, and tears behind the scene that person did to get to that point. The path to a goal should teach us about ourselves. It is something that we can use to see your own potential. In the battle of the person versus self, you learn what you are capable of achieving. You got to work hard. You got to have commitment, dedication, effort towards any goal, sacrifice, and press forward to achieve your goals no matter what. Can't nobody else do that for you. Can't nobody do your effort, commitment, and dedication and press forward for you whatever goal you're trying to achieve. Can't nobody, your mama can't do it for you. Your mom, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your co-worker, your neighbor, your significant other. You got to do it. Okay, if you're in school or returning back to school or trying to get a certification or your associates or your bachelor's or whatever of training, you got to show up and study for that test. Can't nobody do that for you. You got to work hard, you got to sacrifice, press forward to achieve your own goals no matter what. Bottom line, I've always been told, bottom line, anything of true value will not come quick. If it comes too quick, you better run from it like lightning speed. I'm here to, anytime a person come to me with any kind of information about, and you can do this quick, and you can start this business quick, you can make all this money quick, you can write this book quick, you can lose 50 pounds in 30 days, I'm running like lightning speed, because I'm here to tell you, ain't nothing in this world, and I would take this to my grave, ain't nothing in this world of true value is going to come quick, bottom line. And I'm here to tell you, writing my book, I spent over a year, blood, sweat, and tears behind the scene writing my manuscript, and that's real. The only thing in life that's gonna come quick is heating your food up in a microwave. I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this here is some important stuff, because instant gratification don't just apply to young people. You got people in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, even older, still got that mindset. I want this now. I want it quick. I want it fast. I want to start this business now. I want to make all this money now. I want to write this book and get this book written in 24 hours. They want everything. And I'm telling you, that's the mindset of people of all ages and categories. And I'm here to tell you. And now that's going to lead us into our next topic. And we're doing pretty good on time. Actually, we're doing very good on time. And again, I really do appreciate everybody taking out the time to listen to this power lecture. I do a tremendous amount of work, preparation, research behind the scene to present this information on this platform. I want to talk about, and it's, to me, I think this is also a caveat to what I just got done talking about. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, and recognize and understand and influence the emotion of others. In practical terms, this means being aware that emotions can drive our behavior and impact people positively and negatively. In learning how to manage those emotions, both your own and others. Managing emotions is especially important in situations when we are under pressure. For example, when we are giving and receiving feedback, meeting tight deadlines, whether it's at work or home, responsibilities and deadlines at home, dealing with challenging relationships, not having enough resources, navigating change, working through setbacks and failures. Why is emotional intelligence important? It's a scientific fact that emotions precede thought. When emotions run high, they change the way our brain functions, diminishing our cognitive abilities, decision-making powers, and even interpersonal skills. Understanding and managing our emotions and the emotions of others help us to be more successful in both our personal and professional lives. At a personal level, emotional intelligence helps us have comfortable conversations without hurting feelings, manage our emotions when stressed or feeling overwhelmed, improve relationships with people we care about at work, home, community, church, etc. Emotional intelligence can help us resolve conflicts, coach and motivate others, create a culture of collaboration, build psychological safety within teams. This is all ties into why that emotional intelligence is so important, really, in all areas of your life, at work, home, school, church, community, and etc. So now that's going to lead us into our next topic. And again, I really do appreciate all of my supporters taking out time, whether you can listen to part of it or some of it or catch the replay. All of this helps support my channel. It really, really does. It really does help support my channel. So I want to talk about the mindset of internally driven people. This is another one of my favorite topics. You know, me personally, I've been internally driven my entire life. Literally as far back as I can remember. You know, internally, the mindset of internally driven people. I'm going to present 5 mindsets of internally driven people. And number 1, 5 traits of internally driven people. Internally driven people, number 1, they are not dependent on others for motivation. Their motivation is coming from inside, internal, and I'm here to tell you, that's number 1 right there. They have their whys. They're going to ask questions. Internally driven people, they're going to ask thought-provoking questions. They're going to ask who, what, when, why, and how. If someone is presenting information to them, they're going to ask those questions. In order to do anything or to change your lifestyle, you need to understand your why behind it, especially that why. As in, why is there a need to do something or change something? Your why is your reason, is usually the biggest power that drives you. You know, again, that internally driven person, ain't nobody, I don't care if it's on work, school, home, or whatever, ain't just going to be able to present information to that internally driven person. And if there's a need to go into those why type questions, they will. Number 3, they know how to stand again after falling. So even if they fail, they know how to stand again. Internally driven people know their failures are temporary and just a stepping stone. So they are not afraid of failure. They take responsibility for what they feel and they accept it. They know that stopping is failure. Standing still is a failure. And if you never stop, that is success right there. That's the key thing right there in terms of that internally driven person. They know how to stand after failing, and they're gonna continue on, and they're not gonna stop. Number 4, they're not afraid of challenges. Internally driven people, they know that challenges are good for them, or for learning and for growing. They know it's going to change them in their better version. They're open to receiving them and working towards them. And I'm here to tell you, internally driven people are proactive versus reactive. It's always important to be an internally driven person who is proactive rather than reactive, because then situations and people won't handle you or control you. Rather, you can be the one to do so. So those are some 5 powerful traits of internally driven people. And again, I have been internally driven all of my life. You know, all through, I've always been one of those type of people. Standardized tests have always been a challenge for me. If I fail at one time, I'm gonna go back a second time, and however many times I need to take it until I pass that exam. I can't think of one standardized test throughout my entire academic or professional career where I passed it the first time, even if it was just missing it by 1 point. But to me, it's a challenge. I'm gonna take it again, and I'm gonna eventually pass the exam, and I've been that way all of my life. So those are some powerful characteristics on internally driven people. And we're doing good on time. I'm going to take a pause, drink some water. And again, I really do appreciate everybody chiming in to this live stream lecture. All right, just checking to see how we doing time-wise, topic-wise. Got to kind of make sure everything lines up. This may look easy, but it's not, because I'm presenting a lot of information, but being prepared does help. Some of this information, some of these topics may be helpful to some people. So I want to talk about what is a fixed mindset. What is a fixed mindset? People with a fixed mindset believe individual traits cannot change, no matter how much effort you put in, and are more likely to believe intelligence and talent are static. Avoid challenges to avoid failure. People with a fixed mindset ignore feedback from others. They feel threatened by the success of others. People who have a fixed mindset hide flaws so as not to be judged by others. People who have that fixed mindset have the tendency to say the following: either I'm good at something, or I'm not. Either I'm good at something or not. They have the tendency to say, I can't learn now, it's too late. Why even try? They also would say things like, there is no point in trying if I'm going to fail anyway. Those are all good examples of the mindset of a fixed mindset person. They may have the thought or say things like, I take feedback as a personal attack. I always struggle with, that's the kind of mindset they'll have. People with a fixed mindset, they will say things like, I feel threatened or intimidated by the success of others. Or they may say, I can't make this any better. It is what it is. So those are some descriptions or statements or thoughts, or what some things or what a person with a fixed mindset would say, or the thought process. And that having that fixed mindset really can hold a person back from achieving their goals and dreams and aspirations in any area of their life. Rather, it's a personal goal, a financial goal, a job goal, or a school goal. They may say, well, I'm too old to return back to school, or why even bother? Or I'm not smart enough to go to school, so I just stay stuck in this type of job for the rest of my life. Those are all good descriptions of how a person with a fixed mindset think, and I'm here to tell you. But a person can get the skills to shift that, I'm here to tell you, into more of a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So now that's going to lead us into our next topic, which is all people use tactics. And this is one of my favorite topics. All people use tactics. So when I talk about tactics, all people use tactics, I'm going to kind of zone in and make this more applicable to in relationships. When I say relationships, that can be any kind of relationship. Relationship with your mother, father, sister, brother, significant other, co-worker, someone at the church, just relationships in general. So all of us use tactics, and there are three major categories of tactics I'm going to talk about. Tactics are planned strategies and approaches designed to achieve a goal. We all use tactics of some sort. People use responsible tactics to plan behaviors that accomplish something helpful and worthwhile. Just like I use a strategic tactic to prepare for this powerful lecture, to gather all of this information, to organize it, to research it, and etc. So that was a strategic, responsible plan tactic. People also use irresponsible tactics to try to get the most by giving the least. These tactics hide their motives, which means taking advantage of others, avoiding responsibility, or causing hurt or selfishness, etc. There are three major categories of tactics: avoidance strategy, diversion strategy, and aggression strategy. Avoidance strategy, a good example of that is lying, is the most common type of avoidance tactic. A person may tell a complete lie or tell half truths. Omitting information that you know is important is an example of an avoidance strategy. Being deliberately vague, pretending you don't know or can't remember. You might stay silent to avoid notice is another description of avoidance strategy. Another type of tactic is diversion strategy. When some form or line doesn't work, you will try to shift the focus off you onto something or someone else. You will try to confuse people or redirect their attention away from you and off the real issue. For example, you may throw your energy into pointing out the faults and failures of others. You may magnify or exaggerate minor issues, or you may deliberately try to confuse the person to get the upper hand. That's a real good description of a diversion strategy that some people use in relationship. And the third tactic, which is aggression strategy. When avoiding responsibility or diverting attention doesn't work, you try something different. You use tactic of aggression to include attacking, intimidating, stirring up conflict, or instilling fear in others. Aggression ain't always got to be physical. It can be, again, intimidating, stirring up conflict, instilling fear in others by threatening them. If caught, you take on the victim role, claiming that you were provoked or that the other person deserved it. Arguing is where aggression tactics start. The goal is using aggression. The goal in using aggression strategy is to get what you want to escape exposure. And I'm here to tell you. So these are some three major tactics that people use: aggression strategy, diversion strategy, aggression strategy, aversion strategy, and avoidance strategy. All people use tactics. The tactics can be used in a responsible manner, and tactics can be used in an irresponsible manner in any type of relationship. Now that's going to lead us to the next topic after I get me some water and coffee. See how we doing on time? Looking pretty good. And again, I appreciate everybody chiming in. The next topic I'm going to present is what is psychological defenses. This is another one of my favorite topics. What is psychological defenses? Defense mechanisms are unconscious psychological responses that protect people from feelings of anxiety, threats to self, and things that they don't want to think or deal with. What are some common psychological defenses? There are about 6 major ones I'm going to present. Acting out, For example, instead of telling someone you are angry with them, you might yell at them or throw something against the wall. Refusing to deal with or encounter unpleasant situations. For example, rather than discuss a problem with someone, you might simply start avoiding them altogether so you don't have to deal with the issue. Some of these defenses can be more helpful than others. For example, utilizing humor to overcome a stressful, anxiety-provoking situation can actually be an adaptive defense mechanism. Psychological defenses are like a powerful shield to keep us from hearing the truth, especially if that truth is about certain types of high-risk behavior. Rather it's gambling or infidelity or not using your bill money for something else, neglecting responsibilities, or etc. Psychological defenses are unconscious. They are designed to trick us into thinking we do not have a problem, especially if the problem is related to high-risk type behaviors, rather as alcohol, drugs, gambling, using bill money to go shopping when you know you need to be paying those bills and neglecting your responsibilities at home and etc. So then we have compensation is another form of psychological defenses. Overachieving in one area to compensate for failures in another. For example, someone who feels insecure academically might compensate by excelling in athletics. Number 4 is disassociation, becoming separated or removed from a situation when dealing with something stressful, such as a toxic relationship, a toxic work environment, medical problems, financial problems, extreme stress. An example might be cracking a joke in a stressful or traumatic situation. And then number 6, which is passive aggression. Passive aggression. Indirectly expressing anger instead of telling someone that you are upset. For example, you might give them the silent treatment. So those are all some really good descriptions of psychological defenses. Everybody uses psychological defenses in various different ways, and I'm here to tell you, because psychological defenses can be unconscious. Now that's going to lead us into the next topic, and we are doing really good on time. Our next topic is drama addiction. Are you addicted to drama? Because unfortunately, you got a lot of people who really truly are addicted to drama. So what exactly is drama addiction? An addiction to drama is preceded by the release of pain-suppressing endorphins and pleasure-inducing dopamine. Similar to heroin and other opiates, drama eases a person's anxiety and makes the person feel good. I'm going to give some indicators that a person is addicted to drama. You may even know someone who's addicted to drama. You may be addicted to drama. But some indicators are you gossip a lot. Let's be honest. All of us indulge in a bit of gossip every now and then. It's part of being a social being. But if you find yourself quite often talking about others, being judgmental about their imperfections, shortcomings, failures, or even trashing their success, it's most likely your way of creating or getting involved in some form of drama. Another indicator is you get involved in arguments. This one can be seen most often in relationships. When things get a little dull or boring, or when everything's going good in a relationship, The easiest way to add a little excitement is to stir up the piece, digging up some old issues and resentments, which leads to arguments. That's another indication of a person who is addicted to drama. Number 3. Number 3. You complain a lot. Complaining is probably the easiest way to get a bit of drama going. It's a great way to get a bit of attention and maybe even some pity. Drama, get some pity going on. Drama, but keep this in mind that people have enough of their own problems, and no one really wants to know about your problems, especially if it's always problem, drama, toxicity, especially if you don't want to do something about it. You know, a lot of people, they just want to talk about the drama, the toxicity, and the problems, but they don't want to use any kind of solution language. They don't want to begin to start problem solving. So if you have problems and you want to solve them, find people who can help you with it, who can help you brainstorm and talk about and discuss a menu of solutions and options to solve the problem, versus staying in that stuck mode, that toxicity mode, that problem language mode, the problem focus mode, and etc. Another indicator that a person is addicted to drama is the person they hold on to the past. One thing we can be sure of about is we cannot change the past. We all have had all kinds of challenges we've had to deal with in our past. But if you're consistently thinking or talking about something negative that happened in the past, and you're stuck year after year after year after year in talking about these problems and staying stuck and don't want to get any help, perfectly knowing that there is nothing you can do about changing the past, or you got to be willing, or some people are just unwilling to let go of it, or get counseling and get help working on it to resolve those issues. Then it's most likely the person is drama fixed. A person just want to be there. They just in that drama fixed state. And I'm here to tell you. And a lot of times they want you to be there with them, in that drama fit state, to be stuck there with them. And another 5th indicator that a person is addicted to drama, which you see this a lot, is number 5, you are drawn to social media turmoils and gossip. You got a lot of toxicity on a lot of these platforms, and content creators and people on these platforms, talking about each other and arguing, crossing, creating chaos for views against each other. So a person who's addicted to drama is drawn to social media turmoil and gossip. It always amazes me when some people have the time and energy to get involved in that type of toxicity and drama on social media. And unfortunately, that's what get the views and going viral is the toxicity and negativity, but to each his own. On these different platforms. So people who are addicted to drama on social media, that's another indication that they are addicted to drama. And then number 6, you love reality TV and the tabloid magazines. Drama is exactly the reason why people get hooked on these. These TV shows and magazines focus on gossip and on exposing people from all forms of adding drama to your life. These are probably the most harmless to you. But you have to ask yourself, by watching reality TV, does it really add any kind of value to my life. And I'm here to tell you. And another key pointer I want to point out too is number 7. Silence freaks you out is another indicator that a person is addicted to drama. Silence will freak out the person. Silence, and I'm going to tell you why. Silence is peaceful. And peace can be quite boring if you haven't yet discovered the power of peace and silence. Drama addicts tend to hate silence. If sitting or doing things in silence freak you out or makes you very uncomfortable, it's probably because you use to the buzz of excitement and possible drama excitement, that toxic excitement. You got to be willing to explore silence. There is so much happening in there. It will help you find, appreciate, and enjoy the better things in life. And I'm here to tell you. Now that's going to lead us into our next topic after I get some simple water. And we're still looking pretty good on time. We got about 35 more minutes, and I got just a few more things to cover before we bring it to closure. And again, I really do appreciate everybody chiming in. Rather, you can chime into certain parts, get replay later, but I really do appreciate everybody's support. So this is going to be a caveat to what I just lectured on in terms of drama addiction. I want to talk a little bit about the power of silence. You know, there's value in being silent. Sometimes just sitting still, you know, being silent will contribute to your becoming humble. Working hard on your goals in silence. Once you have accomplished the goal, the achievement will make the noise for you. You won't have to even open your mouth. You know, it really, let the goal achieve, the complete the goal will make the noise itself, such as a promotion, completing a music video that you may have been working on for several months, or getting your book done and written and now it's on Amazon, or getting that degree, rather it's associates, bachelor's, master's, etc. You know, completing the goal will make the noise for you. Being silent will draw people to you, and they will acquire and ask, what is your secret of always being humble, calm, and silent? By being silent, that will actually draw people to you, especially when you're in certain settings, rather it's at work or school or in church or whatever, in some type of meeting. I always pay attention and observe that silent person, because they are really listening to everything. They are listening, they are observing, they are doing a lot of things, and they might not even say anything in that meeting, but trust me, they are doing a lot of listening and they are doing a lot of observing. Those are the type of people I'm drawn to in any setting. You know, the reason why most people run from silence, avoid sitting still, etc., because the person may be afraid to find the not so good about themselves on the inside. They may not want to face unresolved issues, internal struggles. If that's the case, then there are so many ways to attain personal counseling from a therapist. Get the help you need so you can acquire and attain the peace within and embrace the value and the power of silence. And I'm here to tell you. And another powerful value of silence is when you have the ability to sit still and be silent, you're able to problem solve. You know, when in the moment of silence, you will come up with solutions. You know, silence will help you make better decisions. Silence will allow you to focus on your inner thoughts. Silence will contribute to your overall happiness. And silence can be a potential solution to life problems. You know, one of the things I always remember growing up, and I used to hear the elders say, A lot of times when you got a lot of problems going on, a lot of things going on, one of the things I always remember hearing is just take a nap. Just pull away and go take a nap and embrace that silence and sleep on it. And I'm telling you, that's a powerful thing right there. That's a powerful thing. Just sit still, take a nap, and you can really see the benefit of the power of silence. So now that's going to lead us to our next topic, which is a very important topic, is ways to self-fund and save for your dreams. Ways to self-fund and save for your dreams. But before I get into this topic, I'm going to take a quick pause for just a moment, and I will return. All right. Appreciate everybody hanging on in there with me. This kind of reminds me back of my teaching days. So I'm pretty much in my comfort zone. So I want to talk about 5 ways, and I've used all of these tips here, 5 ways to self-fund and save for your dreams. 5 ways to self-fund and save for your dreams. Because pursuing a dream is hard work. Rather, it is finding the time, support, ambition, or funds, money. Dreams require an arsenal of tools and support to put them within reach. You know, just like I talked about all of my affiliates who have supported Marie Holiday, supported my company to get it to the where it's at right now. You know, my affiliates, meaning my publishing company, Page Publishing Company, Audiobook Network Publishing Company, my web page designer, Jason Shelton, my narrator for my book, Patricia Burgos, and the other staff members who are my publication coordinator, my audio coordinator, all of these affiliates who play a role in supporting me as I go after my dreams. So dreams require an arsenal of tools and support to put within reach. If you're dreaming of, for example, a vacation out of the country, or to buy a brand new car, or returning back to school, or renovating your home, or to increase the value of your home, or a dream such as monetizing your YouTube channel as a way to earn a mix of active and passive income. Cultivating and or saving up is a huge component of putting that dream into drive. So I'm going to present 5 tips that will help you self-fund and save and cultivate to make your dreams a reality. Number one is Record your expenses. The first step in setting up your dream fund is figuring out where your money is currently going. Be sure to factor into your budget expenses such as food, gas, which is a bill. That way you'll always be contributing to your dream fund without having to make it a conscious effort. And I'm also gonna say, keep your job in the meantime. Many people have their own business and simultaneously work their full-time job. I retired from state government, but I've always had my company simultaneously while I work my career job for over 20-something years. So if you're going after a dream, keep your job and get a job, because your household bills are not going to stop. I've seen so many people, when they're going after their dreams, they create financial destruction. Going after their dreams because your rent or your mortgage or your car note, your car insurance, taking care of the kids, cell phone bill. Bills don't stop just because you're trying to get a business off the ground or start a music business or write a book or cultivate the YouTube channel. Money ain't coming from those sources quick. So in the meantime, keep your job. Another second pointer in terms of tip in terms of going after your dreams is, if you find yourself not having enough money to self-fund your dreams, then you may have to get a side hustle in addition to your full-time job to increase your cash flow. Tutors, for example, this is just some examples. Tutors are in demand. People make money by tutoring. So, if you're smart, you can check out other opportunities in your area as a side hustle. Assess clutter in your house and sell extra items in your house on Facebook Marketplace. There's so many ways that you can be creative to generate additional cash flow on top of keeping your regular job. There's endless possibilities. When I was in the workforce, one of the things I did to self-fund and get my book published, because I had to pay those publishing companies a whole lot of money. That was not cheap. But what I did was I got me a weekend job. I had my full-time job. I had my weekend job to increase my cash flow to pay that publishing company upfront in cash as I was going after the dream of getting my book published. And now, since my book has been in all major bookstores going on 2 years, now I'm getting a return on my investments and reinvesting my royalty checks from my book every quarter. But my point was, I had to increase my cash flow during that time so I would not have created financial destruction paying off my 2 different publishing companies. Paying off those publishing companies to get my book published, but at the same time, I had to pay my regular bills, mortgage, and etc. Because I've seen time and time again, folks going after their dreams, they create financial destruction because your regular bills in your household will not stop. And I'm here to tell you. Every month, you need to stick to and stick to your budget. Know what's going in, know what's going out financially, and stick to your budget in terms of saving money for that dream fund. And number four, make it automatic. While squirreling away cash, whether it's a dream to take that dream vacation or write that book or start the business or to get your YouTube channel off the ground to get it monetized, it can often get pushed aside if you don't set up money savings for your dream automatically, where you're automatically saving a certain amount of money. Upgrade your savings strategy by opening up a special savings account that links to your checking account. Set it up in a way where that money is automatically coming out. Treat that savings like a bill. That way, you can set up automatic weekly or monthly transfers to your account without a second thought. And most importantly, again, create that budget, stick to that budget, and I'm telling you, then you begin to see the money rising and rising and rising, especially if you get another job, like a side job, to increase cash flow, have a purpose for that money. And I'm telling you, these tips work because, as I self-funded my dreams, in terms of monetizing my YouTube channel, write my book, continuously cultivating my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center, from the ground up. I did it in a way where I did not create new debt, because creating that new debt can lead to financial disruption. These are some powerful tips, because I talk to and listen to a lot of people who they got all these great ideas. You know, they got all these dreams and great ideas are good, but I'm going to always ask them, have you developed a strategic plan on place in terms of some specific steps that you need to take to self-fund your dream, but simultaneously still maintain your regular household bills? It can be done, but you got to have that strategic plan on paper, some action steps in regards to what you are going to do to self-fund that dream, in addition to other steps and goals, action steps that lead to the goal achieving that goal. And when I always ask that thought-provoking question, overwhelmingly the person will always respond, no, I don't have a strategic plan on paper in terms of specific steps I am going to do to self-fund that dream. Without a business plan on paper, I tell anyone, you are setting yourself up for failure. And I'm here to tell you. Now, that's going to lead us into our next topic, which is, and we're doing pretty good on time. Really, we are. We're doing very good on time. Got about 20 minutes left before I bring it to closure. Oh, this is a very good topic here that I want to present, which is added sugar really does have a negative impact on your health, your overall health. And you notice I said added sugar, that there's some natural sugars in certain vegetables. I'm not talking about the naturals. I'm talking about the added sugar. And what I mean by added sugar, see this here? And I actually got this specifically for my lecture. I'm talking about added sugar. I don't use this. I only bought it for this lecture. I'm throwing this away when I get done with the lecture. Added sugar. There's added sugar because I lecture on the marshmallow experience. There's added sugar in these marshmallows, which I'm going to throw away when I get done with the lecture. So, added sugar. And I'm being honest with you, based on my research that I've done on added sugar, since May of this year, I made a commitment, a lifestyle commitment, to remove all added sugar out of my diet. Meaning the junk food, the cookies, the ice cream, the cakes, the carbohydrates, the bread, all of that, all of it. And I have been on this trajectory path since May to now. And to be honest with you, I don't even miss it. If someone inadvertently, when I drink my coffee, no sugar. Drink my tea, no sugar. Lemonade, no sugar. So iced tea, no sugar. So if a person, you have to be careful with that, because when you go and say if you go to Dunkin' Donut and get coffee, you tell them no sugar, none of that stuff in it. Sometimes they'll mistakenly put sugar in it and I have to throw it out. So added sugar, basically, the higher the intake of added sugar, the higher the higher the risk of heart disease. High amounts of sugar overload the liver. Your liver metabolizes sugar the same way as alcohol. It converts dietary carbohydrates to fat. I don't got rid of the carbs out of my diet. No bread, no pizza, none of that. Just meats and vegetables and salads, nuts, about a gallon of water a day, and I've been on that regimen now since May. This added sugar can lead to greater accumulation of fat, which may turn into fatty liver disease. It's a contributor to diabetes, which raises your risk for heart disease. The more research I did on this added sugar, I'm convinced I'm through with it. Seriously, it's out of my life. It has no place in my life. The more research I've done and dove deep on this added sugar. Consuming too much added sugar can raise your blood pressure, increase chronic inflammation. Both of these are pathologically pathways to heart disease. Excessive consumption of sugar, especially in sugary beverages. That's why all I drink is water. All I drink is water. And if I get coffee, no sugar. Any kind of beverage, iced tea, no sugar. And when you go somewhere and get iced tea, you got to tell them no sugar in the iced tea at all. Both of which are pathological pathways to heart disease. Excessive consumption of sugar, especially in sugary beverages, also contributes to weight gain by tricking your body into turning off its appetite control system. And that's another thing that I've noticed about me since I've removed all added sugar out of my diet since May of this year. I don't even crave the sugar. I'm not even that hungry for whatever reason. So now I'm finding out why, because when you remove that added sugar, it also controls your appetite. You don't even want it. Because liquid calories are not as satisfying as calories from solid foods, this is why it is easier for people to add more calories to their regular diet when consuming sugary beverages. I'm telling you, the more I research about the sugar, the more I'm convinced that it's just so many benefits by removing it from your diet. The effects of added sugar intake: higher blood pressure, inflammation, weight gain, diabetes, and fatty liver disease are all linked to the increased risk for heart attack and strokes. Subtracting adding sugar from your diet. There's another, I'm always reading my labels. Reading food labels is one of the best ways to monitor your intake for added sugar. It is real simple, because it's going to say on the label if added sugar is in it, and that's a no-brainer. Reading food labels is one of the best ways to monitor your intake of added sugar. Looking for the following names for added sugar and try to either avoid or cut down on the amount of and frequency of these type of foods when they are found. You know, brown sugar, that's added sugar. Corn sweetener, all of that is added sugar. Corn syrup, fruit juices, all of that is added sugar. And one of the secrets I found about on how to shop for food is now since May, when I go to the grocery store, I've always paid attention to how I eat, but I'm more into it now. If you stay on the outside aisles versus going on the inside, because inside is where all the dead food is. Your potato chips, your cookies, and all of that junk. But if you stay on the outside aisles, the outside is where your vegetables, your fresh vegetables, your frozen, stay on the outside, your dairy products, all of the outside aisle. So I just stay on the outside aisle. The only thing I have to get on the inside aisle is my nuts and my apple cider vinegar. I'm out of the outside aisle. I'm out of the inside aisle. Stay away from the inside aisle. Stay on the perimeter of that grocery store. Because the perimeter of the grocery store, you're going to find all of your fresh products or your frozen stuff. That's about as close you can get to fresh. And then it's not going to have any added sugar in those vegetables and fruits and all of that. And I've been doing that since May. And then still check the label. And I'm telling you, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, honey sugar, invert sugar, malt sugar, molasses, all of that sugar, all of your syrups, all of that sugar. If you read something that says dextrose, fructose, glucose, lactose, maltose, I hope I'm saying that's all sugar based. So get rid of all of the dead food, processed food, junk food. You remove all of that, then you're left with food that's really pretty close to its natural state. And I'm telling you, you eat something that you ain't supposed to eat, you are going to eat. If I can smell, I'm serious, I can smell the sugar through this plastic. When you go without added sugar for so long, I'm not kidding you, I can go in the dead aisle of the grocery store and smell all of that sugar in them cookies just radiating out of the bag. You can literally smell it. You can literally smell the sugar in the grocery store, and it's wrapped up in all this plastic. When you remove all of that, for whatever reason, I'm not craving sugar anymore because I don't got it out my system. It's by removing sugar out of your diet, it actually suppresses your appetite for real. Y'all, you're just more satisfied when you do eat. I eat 2-3 meals a day. Sometimes I have to make myself eat that third meal because for whatever reason, I feel full. And I really do think that's because I don't got rid of this here, right here. It's a way of life. It's a behavior change. It's a lifestyle change. I have removed this. I can eat all vegetables. I can eat vegetables cooked. I can eat them raw. I can grill them. My fruits, that's natural, nuts, or whatever. And I'm going to tell you a secret about how you can get your protein in. For example, I still go to regular restaurants, but I just don't eat the junk. I get a hamburger, throw away the buns, and just eat the meat on the inside. The meat, the lettuce, tomatoes, bam. So if you throw the buns away and then you just eat what's in the middle, then you don't throw away, because carbohydrates convert to sugar. Throw the buns away. Just throw them out. So, and you do that for so long, you don't even miss it. So again, there are so many benefits from removing added sugar to your life. And I'm telling you, about a year and a half ago, I went to the hospital for a major procedure. I mean, not a major procedure, a routine procedure, a colonoscopy. And as they was processing me and looking through my medical record, the doctor looked at me and was puzzled. And he literally, because most people at a certain age, you're on some kind of medication, whether it's heart disease or diabetes or high cholesterol medication, something. I am on no medication. My lab work looks phenomenal. No high blood pressure medication, no diabetes medication, no cholesterol medication. My lab work is phenomenal, and I really do believe it's because of this. I've removed this out of my diet. I'm in A1 phenomenal health-wise, phenomenal lab work. And that doctor literally looked at me and he said, "You are on no medication." I said, "No, sir." 20 minutes later, a nurse came in, looked through my file. She had a puzzled look on her face. They looked through it. She said, "You're on no medication." "No, ma'am." And I literally told her, because I don't consume sugar, and I'm here to tell you. So, and especially in the retirement, you want to be in the top health that you can. You want to be in good health in any age, but especially in retirement, so I can enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'll be out of the country next month. You do this for so long, you can still go any kind of event, because in my mind, I know what I can eat and I know what I can't eat. I can eat any kind of meat. I don't eat any fried foods, but I can eat any kind of meat. I can, if somebody got hamburgers or whatever at a cookout, I just throw the buns away and eat hamburger. So still, I'm not missing out. So now that's going to lead us to the next very important topic. Is I'm going to bring it to closure. Is looking good on time. I just want to point out again, my book Awake Financial Freedom is now available in audiobook. Audiobook Network, the publishing company, they did a phenomenal job in transforming my already published work into an audiobook. My marketing coordinator, he literally just alerted me a couple of days ago. They're marketing this book heavily behind the scenes. They have completed the video trailer. They have completed Facebook page for this book, or Instagram, or all of that to drive sales. So again, I'm going to actually show some updated information on my business website. Jason literally went in. If you all can follow me, I'm getting ready to actually go to my laptop so y'all can see what Jason has done to showcase my audio. I'm gonna switch the camera, and I'm getting ready to go to my laptop. And I don't know if you guys are aware, I'm studying my zip code to where I retired to, and this area is absolutely phenomenal. So let me get to this first. I want to show what Jason did. I'll go to go to my website. I don't know if you all can see that. Yeah, there's my website right there. Patterson Associates Resource Center. That's the driving force behind Marie Holiday. YouTube, I just use this YouTube to market my company. But check out my website. That's the home tab. I'm gonna show you that. You click that, it just gives you a lot of information about that service, coaching services, professional coaching services, a little bit about the forums there, showcasing my book. There's an area here where he went in, and if you click that tab, it just gives you more information about my book. And then here's the audio book part where he showcased that. And I think that's a reel. I'm going to find out. Patterson Associates, years. This is years of hard work. And then as you go look at this here, go back up, that's about information on my coaching services. He clicked that. There's forms in the electronic version of the form, the contract. I do not do it free, or the PDF version of the form. That's all laid out in there. And then you can click in this here that'll guide you towards a page publishing company. But it's something he did that I really, really like. He actually, let me find it. If you go to my store and click Await Financial Freedom, click that area, scroll down, and then it'll also take you to the soft copy book from Page Publishing, or it would take you to the audio book and it'll give you that reel. So this, my business website really is like a living, breathing document where, and I market my business website is on YouTube paid advertising to drive traffic, to drive business. My revenue literally is rising under my company. And if you, what he did on the media is, oh, here's that powerful letter he did. I want appreciation letter. My affiliates appreciation. I want to especially thank. You can go in and read that on behalf of Marie Holiday and Patterson Associates. Well, I'm thanking Jason for my web page designer. His company name is Shelton Group. I'm did his letter of appreciation. Also shouting out Page Publishing. Elena Beer is my publishing coordinator. This letter was done in January in reference to prior work that's already done. I'm also recognizing Lena Beers, I'm recognizing Jason, and I'm recognizing Diana Bolte for doing a phenomenal job behind the scene to get this company to showcase all of my 20 plus years of work. And you go to this website. Also, what I like about what he did is, you notice you can click it now. When you first go to my website, it's showcasing Paris and Associates. It'll unfold throughout that process. Yeah, I'm a content creator, but YouTube don't pop out first because my company is going to pop out first. My company is standalone. So YouTube can shut me down right now. That ain't going to stop Paris and Associates from generating revenue. That's not going to stop Page Publishing Company and Audiobook Publishing Company for sending me my royalty checks every quarter for the rest of my life. So my point is, I tell people, use the social media platform to market in your sales to other services, to showcase your business that's separate from YouTube. And I'm going to take that one to my grave. So he literally, there's some links, other links that he's going to go in and add on my business website. But this here, he literally done a phenomenal job. Professional coaching, that area there's a place you can go and click Page Publishing. When you click Page Publishing, that will take you to my Page Publishing website, which is a whole nother website where they showcase my book. They also let you know the platforms you can purchase my book from: Reader House, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Apple, iTunes, Google Play. On my publishing website, on the Page Publishing, there is my video trailer that they did a phenomenal job. That's my first. I have 2 video trailers from my first publishing company, and I also have a video trailer from Page Publishing. So Page Publishing hooked me up, and that's also on YouTube. He did a good job. I don't care what nobody say. This man hooked me up. That's why, and all of the money that I pay Jason is a 100% business write-off. There we go. So now we get out of that. They'll take us back to my business website, and then go up, and then you click coaching services. It gives you all the information on there, the forms to go along. We click that'll route to my Facebook page. At the bottom of that, he's got it where he's routing on my business website is also links to my other pages. Like this here is my Facebook page. Actually, Audiobook Network did a separate Facebook page to showcase my audiobook, which I think is phenomenal. So that's all on there. They ain't leave nothing out. So Jason incorporated that link today. And so we go out of that, and that'll take us back to my business website. You go up, and then you see the store. I have a store area on my business website. Await Financial Freedom, audiobook, my merchandise. You can click that, and you see all the various merchandise. Some of that with my company logo on it, which that merch store is also integrated into my YouTube channel. But he also did a separate store on my business website, which I think was a phenomenal thing. You know, t-shirts, mugs, etc. So that's just a click of a button. You go back out of that, and what Jason did is he also did a tab for Buy Me Coffee. I'm a coffee drinker, so on my business website there's an area on there where you can go in and buy Marie Holiday coffee, and go out of that, go back into store. And he also did one for free. Robinhood stock, I get bonus revenue. I do heavy investment in Robinhood. So through that link, if a person want to purchase Robinhood stock through that link, I get a referral bonus. So that is also on my business website. And he go out of that. And then you go to media, which he didn't leave nothing out. Now under media, it'll unfold on my business website. When you click that media tab, what Jason did, now there's an option to click YouTube. If a person click YouTube on my YouTube channel, now it'll take you to my YouTube channel, and that in terms of my YouTube videos and etc. And so all that's been, he got it all laid out. Membership. If a person can actually find out that I'm a content creator through my YouTube channel, but that's further into the business website. So, and here's when I was interviewed by Pandy. He showcased my interview. He showcased I was interviewed by Georgia Girl. He's showcasing that on that business website. That business website is a living, breathing document. He's also showcasing when Page Publishing Company interviewed me. That's the interview there. And he did a good job where you can skip to my part. So he leave nothing out. He leave nothing out. Go back up. And the beauty of how he did this, just like when I finish this live stream lecture, it's going to immediately show up on my business website under the YouTube tab. So now we go out, and then he got iHeartRadio. That's through my Page Publishing Company when they interviewed me to promote my book. That interview was done November 6, 2022. So he's showcasing that on my business website. He's also showcasing contact information. So he did a phenomenal job. And there's something else he did on here too that I like is, of course, how you can order my book. Oh, here we go right here. Audible. Here's my Audible tab right here. So from my business website, you can order my audio book right there. You click that, it'll bring you right to it. And it also, if you want to sample my audio book, you can click that and it will give you a sample. You will hear not my voice, but you're going to hear my narrator voice, that sample piece that's going to drive sales to my audiobook. So he did a phenomenal job in showcasing this also on my business website. Let me see. Let me click that.
Chapter 1.
Here she is.
Rock bottom. I was living in financial rock bottom from 2007 to 2012, with my credit score hitting an all-time low of 340 after my divorce in 2008. Prior to my divorce, I had a credit score of 800.
So
at my time of living in rock bottom, my full-time job paid a salary of $42,000.
So that was a sample of my narrator. So you're going to hear where she's reading some of that book as a sample, and you can literally go in my business website and click that area under Audible, and he integrated all of that into my business website, the YouTube channel. Also, what Jason did, there's an area under here when you go under the book area, you can literally click where it says view the press release. When my book first got published almost 2 years ago, Page Publishing Company, they did a press release. So my book was released to worldwide audiences via press release. So you can literally go in and read how you can literally read the actual press release when you go to my business website and click that particular button. So I say that to say, check out my business website. Really did a phenomenal job in transforming all of my work under my company, showcasing my primary service, professional coaching services, showcasing my products, book, audiobook, soft copy book, my other products, appreciation letter, press letter, videos, all under Patterson Associates Resource Center. That's 20 plus years strong. And again, that's one of the reasons I say use any social media platform to market your primary service, whatever other company you may have, or product or service. I don't care if you're selling t-shirts or whatever. Showcase your work, showcase your talent, showcase your skills on these platforms, and along the way you can still get monetized as a content creator. I got monetized January of 2023, so that just unfolded. But I mainly use this platform to drive sales to my primary service, Parents and Associates Resource Center. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it. I really do look at that weather that's outside of my home, surrounded by nothing but nature. That's my side window right there. I'm looking out. That's just phenomenal. Weather is literally perfect. But again, I really do want to thank everyone for supporting my channel. My channel will not be where it's at right now today, but most importantly, I want to give all grace and glory to God for giving Marie Holiday the knowledge, the skills, and the ability to bring this information, this valuable information, on this social media platform. Nothing will be possible without the grace and power and guidance and glory of God. So that's all I have. Simple Fidelity, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.